What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another
Hey,
episode of J.A.Z.S Chronicles. Sharon, how are you?
I'm good, Anthony. How are you this afternoon?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Zeke said he has a late arrival, but he will be joining us shortly.
I
But
I do I agree about that because Zeke did a wonderful, amazing thing for our family today. So I'm sure he's running late. Thank you.
oh, well, I'm glad to hear that. Is anything
Yeah.
you would like to share with us?
I will. My mom had a car accident. She wasn't hurt or anything. However, a deer damaged and totaled her car. My
Wow.
mom needed a certain time limit, and I didn't. I forgot about how that worked. It's been a minute. Long story short, called Zeke, and Zeke was going through a couple of funerals. He was going through a medical situation with his family member, and he
Mhm.
still made way for my mother. So yeah, he sold my mom a nice vehicle today.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. I hope she loves it.
Yeah, she does.
Well, good. Good. So we are going to continue. Zeke will be signing on
Okay.
shortly. Once he does, I will
All
pull
right.
him from backstage. But so we are.
Okay.
So here's the show where we sip the truth, spill the facts, and pour into our community with love and real talk. I'm your host Tony, and joining me tonight, keeping the energy high and perspective sharp, are my amazing co-hosts, which is just one right now, but Zeke will be on shortly. Sharon,
Absolutely.
aka our African and Caribbean Connect, aka Queen of Free A. How
I
are you?
am man.
How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you, Anthony?
I'm doing well. I'm going to introduce Zeke since he's not here, but he will be on shortly. Zeke is our Zacomo, is our other
Yes,
host, and Zeke, aka Zeke, Zacomo, aka Zeke, aka your favorite car salesman, as he is
absolutely.
proven himself to be the great car salesman today. Now, we're going to grab our cups, settle in, and let's get in today's conversation. Joining our conversation is the delightful Anabelinda Ford with Parents United Against Youth Violence. Stay tuned. We got some powerful dialogue and wisdom to share. Now, note, I do
Absolutely.
want you guys to note that for our full disclaimers, please refer to the J.A.Z.S Chronicles website. The that link will be up so you can see that, so you can refer to that website or refer back to our introduction where the disclaimers were viewed in the introduction. Uh,
Yes.
Sharon, would you like to introduce our guest for tonight?
I will love to introduce Miss Anna. Now, what I don't do is pronounce names very well, but I call her my amazing Miss Anna. But it's the name that goes along with it. She's with Parent United Against Youth Violence. I told y'all the last time that I had met Miss Bell through Miss Anna, so I had to reverse that one a little bit and get a chance to bring Miss Anna on. She is a wife. She has one child. She's a Christian, and she just recently came from a mission trip. And so I don't want to give too much information about her so that I won't be giving it all out. But I do know that she has a vice president, Miss Janice Hicks, that's also along with her. And I'm just excited to have met her. And we've been clicking ever since then, I would say.
Yes.
Great. Miss Ford, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
for
How are
having
you?
me.
Oh, anytime. Anytime. You are welcome anytime.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, before we do get started into the show, there are a couple of events that's going on in the community. I do want to shed light to those events. I'm just going to populate the flyers, and Miss Ford or Sharon, you guys can speak on those.
Okay.
Okay.
Zeke has arrived. Zeke is here.
Mhm. Hello,
Hello.
everybody.
Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
Zeke.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I'm not fixing to brag about you no more. So you're gonna have to go back after this live and go back and play it because
Mhm.
I did give you some flowers today, but I'm not gonna
Thank
give it
you.
again.
God bless. God bless.
They were a little wilted, but they were flowers.
We'll, we'll I'll take it.
Miss Anna,
I'll take
Miss
it.
Anna, now you see how they do me? You
Yeah.
see?
I'll
Okay.
take it.
It's all love from what I
I'll
see.
take it.
It is all
Thank
love.
you.
Mhm.
So our first
Yes.
community event that's
Yes,
going on. Go ahead,
Yes.
Sharon.
Yes, Miss Anna. Miss Anna,
Yeah.
that's your Christmas thing. Yeah, go
Mhm.
ahead.
Yes, ma'am. That's the toy drive. We're going to have it December 13th at 1 p.m. at Maddox Park. We're also going to have three wonderful Christian rappers. One of them is my son, so that's why I say they're wonderful. And
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
and also we're going
Okay.
to have face painting for the kids. We're going to have Santa and Mrs. Claus. They're going to be taking Christmas pictures. So, and also, of course, toy drive. But we're going to have two testimonies. I always want to share a testimony every time I do something so people can see how
Absolutely.
lives can be changed and just how God works in people's lives to change them. So, but yes, that's the toy
Right.
drive. Yes.
That's
Good.
wonderful.
Okay. And then we're going to go into
Absolutely.
this next one here.
All right, so you want me to put on my professional voice? We have the Christmas dinner drive-through. Join Black Marriage Movement and Second to None Motorcycle Club on Saturday, December the 13th, 2025 for a drive-through Christmas dinner giveaway on the parking lot of Laney's Collision Center from 11 to 2 or until food is all gone. Only car
Wow.
occupants will be served. No extra pleasantries.
Wow.
And I'm going to populate this one, even though this is going on right now. Okay.
Absolutely.
Right now. I'm still going to populate that one.
All right. So this is where we found that this event was going on at Young's funeral home. It is
Yes.
a candlelight visual. It's a service of remembrance of our people. And Miss Anna, can you please name a few people that is on your on your
Okay.
wall?
On Parents United, I can name some off the bat right now. I can name Latoya Billings. She actually passed
Okay.
away. I think it was in 1992. She was shot by her boyfriend back then.
Mhm.
She's from Strong. Caleb Chambers, he was basically at the wrong place at the wrong time. I believe he passed away in 2020 or 2021. Deshaun Smith, he's recent. That was last year. It was just over some shoes. That's all it was.
Oh,
He
my.
was just, set
Mm.
up at the wrong place at the wrong time. Randall Farland, they usually called him Rambo. He was in 2019 and he was gunned down. It was actually close to Miss Joanna Bell's house. She said she
Mm.
saw him when he fell over there. So those are just a few. There are many, many more. Right now, I know your son is one of them.
Thank you.
And if you want to say his name, because I can't
I'm
remember it.
sorry, Tony Anthony Cole the second.
Yes, and he was in Strong when,
He were in Strong and he passed away and yeah,
yes. So this is just a way of remembering people,
absolutely.
Yeah.
and for the
Absolutely.
parents to know that we still see their hurt and we still know that, they're still there and they're still grieving. So
Right.
anyway.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Thank you. And we also want to give a moment for remembrance for Zeke Amo. Zeke, can you give your people names out, please?
Uh, well, we got Demarcus Cooper. We don't know exactly what happened. I don't want to say a whole lot, but
Absolutely.
we just do want to uh, pray for the family because it's a lot. It's just a lot for the families. Period. It's a lot when that happens. Uh, Nobody's looking for that to happen. So but we have to in our communities. We need to get with our families and get them ready for anything and that's I'm glad to have Miss Belinda on tonight because it's just a lot we can learn. It's a lot more we can do and to stop these things from happening and to just get in front of everything.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Anthony, you have anyone you want to be in remembrance before we move forward?
Not at this time.
All
Yeah.
right.
But thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
And we're going to go to this one here. And that is the Winter Wonderland Snooker Ball.
Zeke, you want to talk about that one?
Sure can. It's going to be from 7 to 10 o'clock p.m. at the Tack House. It's open to the Union County. It's going to be on the 7th for the Union County 7th and 8th graders. There's a
Okay.
$5 at the door on that. Winter Wonderland Sneaker Ball. And it is hosted in partnership by Extreme, I believe it's Extreme Fitness and the Boys
Oh,
and Girls Club of El
Mm.
Dorado. Saturday, December 6th, guys. Winter Wonderland Sneaker Ball.
Hmm.
okay.
Right. And then we've done that one, didn't we? Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Then this one. I think this is the last one.
Miss Anna?
Okay, so this is for Miss Janice Hicks. She's having a get together on December 25th. That's Christmas Day, and she's going to be serving food from 12:30 to 3:30. I know she has. She's going to be giving away some clothes, toys, and I think that's it. And just be there from 12:30 to 3:30. And she wants to bless everybody that doesn't have a place to eat, that they can have somewhere to go eat.
Right.
That's,
That's great.
Wow.
mhm. Yeah.
That's great. That's great work.
And
That
I see
is.
that she said she needs volunteers. So absolutely, if you're watching the podcast and you have nothing to do on Christmas,
Hmm.
then be a volunteer. It says volunteers needed.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
It is.
Then there was that
Absolutely.
last one, the scholarship. Did you have that one?
Oh yes. Hold on one second. Let me get that one. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
You know, in spite of everything that's going on, I love the fact that y'all are having events that's going. Um, you know how it's like, okay, I know when you think of Parents United Against Youth Violence, you got to think about all the people that we're doing candlelight visuals and stuff for. But all of the events that you're doing as well, it's almost like sad moment, but it keeps a smile on my face, Miss Anna.
Well,
Mm.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Yes. So this right here, this is the scholarship for next year for the high schoolers, and as you can see, is for the Union County high schools: El Dorado High School, Junction City, Barker's Chapel, Strong, and definitely Murmel. I know Murmel is, for kids that are struggling, so I want them to be encouraged and know that they can also participate in the scholarship. When we first started doing the scholarship was back in 2024, and we only had two scholarships. That year, we honor the Rainey Boys. Nathan Rainey, he lost two of his sons 10 years apart.
Mm.
And then in 2025, this year, we had three people that we honored. And one of them was Ashley Bell. And we also did
Yeah.
um, Mac, I forgot his name, but anyways, the young kid that 16 years old that got gunned down 18 times. And then
Wow.
Critton. He got gunned down right before the day before he was supposed to start his senior year. He got gunned down. So,
Mm.
and I already talked about these ones that are here. So we always want to honor somebody. So we started out with two. This year was with three. So we're expecting to bless four $1,000 scholarship to
That's
each
great.
kid. Yeah,
That's
to
great.
That's
each kid.
wonderful.
Um, and this year, the essay that they have to write is, who is your favorite teacher and why? How has this teacher contributed to the community? And what are your plans for college? The other essays was, how can you make Union County a better place?
Mm.
So this year we're changing it up because we want to honor one of the teachers,
Okay.
the one that
Okay.
stands out the most. So we're also doing that. But it is a way of, the kids that are actually trying to do better and not get in trouble, for them to be like, okay, they see me, they want to still pour into us. It is not just for the kids that are also struggling. So we're trying to bless both sides. The ones that are struggling, to let them know that they come out of that lifestyle, and the ones that are already, trying to do better. Hey, we see you. We know you're trying to do good. Here's $1,000 so you can go to college and use it. So.
Wow.
And
That brings me up to ask you what made you create Parents United Against Youth Violence?
So Parents United were two things. I remember when Rambo got killed. I never knew the boy. I didn't know who he was, but he just touched me. And all I thought about was the parents. And I was like, man, how are the parents feeling? So I reached out to Facebook. Hey, everybody, pray for this person, and blah blah blah. And then when Critton got killed right before his senior year, that touched me even more. I was like, man, he was just about, because I just saw a picture of him and his dad. He was in the football team, and they had a picture of him on the newspaper, and I guess he was reading a letter to his dad, and the dad looked so proud, and I was like, wow, that dad is so proud of his son, and man, he's just making him, feel good. And then the next day he's dead, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can just see how devastated the parents are. So I'm like, okay, again, reached out to Facebook. Let's go ahead and pray for these people. We don't know what they're going through. And then when Mac got gunned down, the 16-year-old, 18 times. I said, okay, prayer works, and I know that. But what else can we do? We need to do something else. So I reached out to the community and to the black community actually, and I was told, yeah, that's not good. What can we do? Can we do a march? It's like, so it started with just a simple march. Let's do a march. That'd be great. Now the reason why these kids really touched me is because at the time my son was in the streets. My son started doing drugs, selling drugs, being with women, stealing, going to jail. So I didn't know if any time that could be my son. So I felt what those parents felt. And that was my way of like, you know what, we need to make a difference. Even though my son's still in the streets, we need to go ahead and make a difference. So we started Parents United. It was just one march. Now, when you do something new, you get excited. So I was really excited. So I was like, let's do a 2 mile march. It was in the middle of June. It was 100
In the
degrees
heat.
outside. So I almost killed everybody. And actually, Nathan was with us and he fainted later on. So we cut down on
Mm.
the miles. So we don't do miles anymore. We just do a little block or something like that. But, and actually, that day that we did the march, we started just singing and praying. No, not singing, just singing and chanting, Parents United and stuff like that. But then all of a sudden, the Lord just got a hold of me and we just started praying. It was me and Tanisha Loston. I don't know if you know the Lostons, Lorenzo Loston. So his wife, she was with me. So I started praying, then she was praying, then we kept calling the name of Jesus. So that's how, now that we do marches, that's what we always do. We have somebody singing gospel, we have somebody praying, and we lift up the name of Jesus. Basically, what we say is, who loves you? Jesus. Who's for our family? Jesus. Who's protecting our kids? Jesus. And basically, we just lift up his name. And but like I said, the main reason why was because where my son was and what these kids were going through, and I just related with the families. And it's something that I didn't wish for my son to happen, but there came a point in my life that I said, Lord, if you're gonna take him away, just get me ready because I don't know how I'm gonna react. I don't know how I'm gonna take this, But it kept me going with Parents United. So now, after all this time in 2020, I'm sorry, uh, we're in 25. So in 2023, my son gave his life back to the Lord. So
Mm.
he's going back to church. He got married. He's expecting his first child.
Okay.
He's a Christian rapper,
Oh,
and
good.
Whoa.
yeah. So so there was a blessing behind all that,
Yeah,
and so
absolutely.
that's why we do what we do because I know that prayer works. See, there
Yeah.
was a time that you nag your kid. You need to go back to church, and why would you do this? Well, the Lord told me one day, stop nagging him and let me take care of him. You just pray, let me deal with him. So I stopped saying anything to him, and it took 2 3 years, and you sometimes feel like you're going crazy, but still I didn't say anything and God just did the rest. So that's why I believe so much in prayer, because I know that God can do it. When you just don't know what to do, God can take care of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's where I'm at.
And I want to acknowledge the one who has joined viewing. Lisa Raymond, she's joined. Connie Layla, Queen T Jones, they've all
Our
joined.
queen.
Hello, thank you all guys for joining. Connie posted something. She said we also have a queen from Texas. She's also battling the loss of her son. The trial is fixing to start. So, Queen, we are standing with you, although we are
Yes, we
not
are.
there with you. We love you always. So she's sending her support to Queen.
Awesome, Miss Connie. We will
Yeah,
keep you in prayer, Miss Connie, and also what's going on with your son. So yes,
With Queen T. Queen T, we got you covered. And thank you, Aunt Connie, for acknowledging. I was gonna say it, but Miss Oswella, you always be on top of things. So we appreciate you. AZ,
I'm
are
sorry,
you
guys. I
okay?
can't hear anything.
oh wow,
Zeke, are you okay?
He said he can't hear anything.
oh,
Let's
he missed
see.
everything.
Can't hear anything, Anthony.
But we can hear you though, Zeke. Just know that we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. The mic is not muted. I don't know what that could be.
So, Miss Anna, what's your okay? You told us that what started the
Hmm.
youth
Parents United.
uh,
You
the
can just say
forum,
Parents.
but
Uh-huh.
how can we supported. I mean, I do know that when I came, it was a meeting, and I received an outstanding book. You know, so can you just let others know how, like, what's going on?
How you can help us? You mean to keep going?
Yes.
What you're asking? Okay. So we have okay. So when we do the marches, we also provide food. Okay. So we need funds for that. Like I said, we have the scholarships, we have the toy drive, and we have Parents United Code Red at PayPal. People can donate there. We one of our biggest people that funded us was Walmart. For some reason, this year they weren't able to fund us. So, but Delix stepped up, and they gave us a nice chunk of money, and that goes towards the scholarship. So that's my biggest thing for the scholarship, because everything else we can take care of. But and also that book that you showed, it's been a
Yes.
blessing to a lot of the parents. Every time I know somebody has passed away, I go to the parents and give it to them. So with the lady that said that she's going through the same thing in Texas, if you can send J.A.Z.S Chronicles your address, I don't mind mailing it to you,
Okay.
and so that can
Okay.
help you out. And that's what we're here for. It's not just Union County, but if I hear somebody from Texas or somebody, and like I just sent one to Chicago, because one of my aunts,
Okay.
she lost her nephew, and so I sent it to his mom, and I also sent her a shirt. So we do the shirts. We do a memory for the shirts. I don't have one with me. I don't think have I given you one, Sharon? No.
I do not have one in my
Okay.
possession, but I'm looking forward.
Okay. Okay. But I haven't given you one yet.
No, madam.
Okay, so I will give you one. So I need to get some pictures from you. So that's what we try to do. Just bless the parents. So that's another way of helping us too.
Okay.
We're a 501c3 nonprofit. So anything that you give is a tax deduction.
That's
So we
double.
send out a
Okay.
letter. Yeah, so we send out a letter so you can take it with you to your tax preparer so they can add it to your deduction. But yeah, anything that's donated, we is tax deductible. So that's a little prop in there, to encourage you to help out. But yeah, the books and the T-shirts are something that we really want to give to people that pass away. And on the back, we have Parents United Code Red and the black ribbon and Ephesians 12, which says, "We're not fight against flesh and blood, but against the principalities and the things of this world." It's just a reminder that yes, somebody took their lives, but you're actually fighting the devil. You're not really fighting that person, because it's a spiritual
Absolutely.
battle, and
Absolutely.
that's only the Lord can go ahead and fix that. So,
Yeah.
instead of getting mad at the person, get mad at the real enemy, which is the devil himself. So,
Yeah.
but
Great,
yes, that's
great
you can
Anthony.
go
work.
ahead and help us out.
Great work.
Yeah. And you know what? When can we meet with you, or when can we see? Is there any meetings that, I mean, like, how does
So
that
we're
work for
meeting.
us to?
We're having a meeting on the 9th at 6:30. We're going to talk about the Christmas toy drive, and then in January we're having a meeting because we are going to, which I know you said you wanted to know some dates. So let me. I already have the dates of the next marches that we're going to have next year.
Okay.
And the first one, we always say we will start with the March in March.
Okay.
Okay,
So
March
we
and
start with
March.
yes, and we're not sure where yet. We always go to different neighborhoods. We like to go to neighborhoods where there is gun violence, so we can pray for that
Okay.
neighborhood. We can encourage the kids, and hey, come on out. You know, um, we're not afraid to go wherever we need to go. We went to Haggett
That
Neal.
was my question.
Yeah, yeah, no, we're not afraid on where we go, because God is with us. God is going to go before us. So we just go by faith and know that the Lord is going to, be there for us. So March 14th is
Absolutely.
the first one. Then June 13th, September 12th, and December 12th is the last one. And that's usually the toy drive. That's basically for the children. I want the children to know that there's a community that loves them, that wants to pour into them. That's why we have a lady, her name is Joella. She ministers to the kids while the adults are being ministered to. So the kids are going to be ministering to by this lady. She's going to have the Christmas story, and she's going to share it with them. And there's usually salvation for the children. And while they're doing that, we're going to have testimonies for the adults so they can hear lives change and how God changed their lives. So
Mhm.
that's the toy drive. So that's a special one for us. The other ones is
Ah,
geared mainly for that neighborhood and for the youth, and we try to get them to come out. Sometimes it's hard, but I'm like, as long as they hear it, then that's all that matters.
Right.
Hmm. Yeah.
Uh,
Zeke. Oh, can you can
question.
hear now, Zeke?
I can. I'm in.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
Miss Ford.
Yes.
I just want to ask you. You've been out here uh, again. We want to applaud you and we thank you for what you've been doing. I hadn't. I've heard of a little of it. I've seen a little. Since COVID hit, I've been kind of thrown off, and I know it threw us all off
Yeah. Yeah.
after that and everything. But like I said, we commend you on stepping up and getting it. I was out with Willie McGee back when Stop the
Mm,
Violence when we
yeah.
started it back in the days, and I've
Hmm.
been out of it. So believe me, I want to get in with you and do whatever we need to do. This is my question right now. What is since you've been out there? What is I guess is there a something that you would say that would I want to speak with the city of El Dorado. What could we do as a whole, or what is needed as a whole, and the largest impact, the largest what can we do to impact
Hmm.
just with us,
I believe that if the police department will show up and speak,
okay,
have a presence there, just for
okay,
the people to know that hey, we care too. Because the
okay,
police department doesn't really have a
exactly,
positive, they're not, so
absolutely,
for them to start
absolutely,
showing themselves and
okay,
actually being a part, I think that would be
okay,
a positive impact for them. That when they see the
okay,
cops, they don't get scared. It's like, oh, okay.
okay,
Um, what's the other thing? Just whenever we have a march, just Willie McGee shows up sometimes, and he's a good speaker. We have to
okay,
cut him off a little bit sometimes because he
yeah,
can get a little wound up, but
no,
he has a heart. So
okay,
Yes. Yes, he
yes,
did.
he does.
gotcha,
You know
gotcha,
what? But my dream, to be honest with you, my dream would
hmm
be to eventually have a home for the youth. Like, you heard of Teen Challenge or like a men's home, women's home,
hmm
but I would love to have that for them to know that there's
okay,
a safe place that they can go to when things just get tough. When they want to get out of that lifestyle, when they want to get out of the gangs, I can go here.
yes,
That's
okay,
my dream. I don't know how God's going to work it out, but that's
wow,
something that
okay,
I would love, to happen eventually.
okay,
Um, but how can the city help? That's a good question. I would just say just be involved. When you hear Parents United is going to this community, hey, how can we help? Can we cook some food? What about the
exactly.
cops cooking food? Grilling or something.
Come on,
Or
exactly.
the
Come on.
councilman or the mayor
There
of
we
El
go.
Dorado. Or
There you go.
just anybody in
Exactly.
that's working in the community that say
Okay.
they love the community.
Yes.
Show up and say, we're gonna go ahead and cook this time. We're gonna go ahead and provide the hot dogs. We're gonna
Exactly.
go ahead and provide the hamburgers. We're gonna go ahead and do this for this community. We're gonna
Whatever.
be there.
Okay.
That would really make an impact because then they'll see like, okay, it's not just these people, but actually the community actually cares, especially the
Exactly.
parents. The community actually cares about my kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not just you know them and stuff. But yeah, so that I
Are
think
you
that would really help a lot.
okay? Are you seeing volunteers are you seeing a
I
lot of
see
volunteers or
my church started volunteering more this year. Let me see, people from the community like Nathan Rainey, he's really involved. Nancy Smith, she's the one that just lost her son last year because of some shoes. She's really involved. There's some teachers that are involved. Actually, there's some teachers involved for the scholarship committee. So I have some teachers that are going to be looking at the essays and stuff like that. So they're
Yeah,
there.
that's good.
Let me see,
let
but
me
yeah,
let me
basically,
let me ask you this, and I'm going to cut in. I don't want to forget
sure,
this.
go
So
ahead.
so so you're seeing mostly people that have been impacted already, not people that you know what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Is that mostly what you're getting? People that have been impacted.
Yes, unless I tell them what I'm doing. Like I said, my church is primarily white. So
Exactly.
they didn't know how bad
Hmm.
it was till I got involved, and
Okay.
that's when they were like,
Mhm.
"Well, we want to help you out."
Okay.
So yes, so the church is helping, which they
Okay.
haven't been impacted by it, but they see the need, and
Yes.
they want the people to know that they're there for them, that hey, we're
Exactly.
here for you and stuff like that. So that I've seen that. Men of Purpose, they've helped out before, and now they just make a presence, So they're
Okay.
there sometimes. Um, and Jazz,
Okay.
the Jazz, you know who they are, right?
Oh, you talking about J.A.Z. Studio? The
Yes,
dances. Mm-hmm.
yes. They usually show up and they do a dance. That's a way of them, drawing the kids like, hey, we can do something different than what you're doing. So they help out too. So yeah, so they volunteer and they do a dance for the community. So that's what I've
Great.
seen. But
Okay.
anything else that you're thinking, the people actually come out and I don't know if people have lost hope. I don't know if they think they're just a lost cause and why. I have no idea why. But they're not a lost cause, not to me. To
No,
me,
no, not at all.
anybody, yeah, anybody can change. And the reason why I stand so firm that anybody can change, mainly because of prayers, because I come from California, and I was at a church called Victory Outreach. And that church, that's who they dealt with. They dealt with the gangs, they dealt with the prostitutes, they dealt with the Mexican mafia. And to see those gangsters, I mean, you see the gangs here. There's nothing compared to when you go to California or New York
No.
or Texas. So those are the gangs that they were dealing with. And to see those people change their lives around, and now instead of killing, they're saying, "Hey, sister, how can I help you? Hey,
Hmm.
sister, you need to come
Yeah.
back to
Absolutely.
the Lord. Hey,
Yeah.
and they're trying to
Yes.
draw. They actually go into the inner cities, and so that's where I got my idea from. Like, you know what? We need to go into the inner city and speak to those
Absolutely.
people and say, hey, your life can change. You don't need to stay where you're at. You can,
Yes.
there's something better out there. It's not just where what you see is not that's not it. But we need people that
Yes.
have been in that lifestyle that can say, I was where you are. Now look where I'm at now. This is how
Abs-
that changed my life. So that's
Absolutely.
why
Absolutely.
I'm just so adamant that that can help. That can happen.
No, no, no. We
Thank
appreciate it,
you.
and
Thank you.
we want,
Yeah.
yeah, and we want to say thank you, Queen Jones. Says she
Mm.
appreciates the support in my village.
Thank you.
Look at Zeke. Look, Zeke, you gonna get a.
Uh,
Go
you're
ahead,
welcome.
Zeke. Read that one down too, Zeke. You gonna get an A+, bro. Go.
Oh my God, my God. And
You're welcome, Connie.
Connie Osweiler, she says thank you,
Yeah,
Miss Ford, for
you're
all that
welcome,
you do.
Connie.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Mhm.
We appreciate it.
Miss
Appreciate it.
Miss, and I don't know if I want to. I'm sitting here trying to hold my tears, but
Mm.
and some like one eye is sad and the other one is happy because again, it's weird. It's a major feeling. The travel of what we go through on a daily basis, and even like the support team that even I have um I'm telling you, the most we've heard Zeke talk. And so I
Mm.
really don't even want to talk because I'm enjoying the interaction because, pain can bring out
Yeah,
the best of us. You
yeah,
understand? And
yeah.
so when I hear him speaking, it's a lot. So I do want to ask you this 2026, do you have any desires to be marching? I mean, not marching, but going with some of the family members to court for support, if it's possible?
That's my goal. Yeah. Now, okay, so I do taxes. That's my business. So I
Oh,
always
yeah,
tell
that's
January 15th to April 15th, I can't commit to anything. I do close
yes.
that one Saturday in March because I always
Okay.
say, that's sacred. I'll just close it up. Money is not that important. It's more important to be in the inner city helping out. So I close that just one Saturday of the whole tax season. But after that, yes, I'm open to it. I'd love to go ahead and support him. I told Miss Nancy that I would go, but it just hasn't worked out. But yes, that's my goal to go ahead and support him. And
However, though, Miss Hicks is there as well. So
yeah,
so even though you're not there, she's kind of, she's
yeah,
kind of there because a lot of times when, like this other time that we had, because they reopened the case for my son's
yeah. I
situation,
heard that.
you know,
Yes.
the case got overturned. So we had a court date, and now the new court date is December the 4th. But whenever Miss Hicks sees me, she always greet me. I'm here for you. I'm standing for you. So
And she
she's
does.
standing on behalf of you guys, even
Yes.
when you're not there. So I
Hmm.
wanted to acknowledge that.
Yes. Yes. She does. She does a great job. And I wanted to add something else just for the public. I'm not from El Dorado. Okay. So usually, if you're not from that city, you don't really care what's going on. But for God to touch me and say, do something for this city, and actually for me to fall in love with El Dorado, just
Absolutely.
know that,
Hmm.
God, if God can touch me, He can touch anybody.
Yeah.
When I came to El Dorado, I didn't want to come here. I came because of my husband. He's from here, and he said we can do better over there because California is real expensive. I didn't want to be. Actually, I hated El Dorado at the beginning. I didn't want to. I didn't want nothing to do with it. But the minute I got involved and I started seeing it, I fell in love with the community. I fell in love with the city. And whenever I hear somebody saying something negative, I was like, if you just knew the people, you wouldn't feel this way. If you just went out and just spent time with the people, you'd be like, this is actually a loving community from both sides. If you get to know,
Absolutely.
the city, the square people that are in the square, it's like, okay, they're nice, you get to know their heart. But then if you go to the inner city, you get to know their heart also. And it's to me, it's just beautiful. When we did Joanna Bell, we honor Ashley Bell. That was in last year in March. We honor Ashley Bell, and just to see Joanna Bell and her community come together and just love on each other and just cook and just be there was just like wow, just the unity that just really it really spoke to me that day. So I just wanted to share
Absolutely.
that.
No, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. I just wanted to let me footnote this in. If you need me, I do sing a little bit, and
Awesome.
I've been
Okay.
wanting. So you can write me in on
Okay.
stage.
Okay.
I think you got your rappers coming when your
The
son.
13th. Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you will put me on, I would like to put
Okay.
a good word out
And
in.
I'm not saying the face, so this is Tony or Seek. Which one is
This
this?
is Zikomo. My name is
Okay.
Zikomo. You call me Zeke. Yes, this is Zeke.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, put
Okay.
The
me
And
on.
then
Moonlighter.
and Tony, you sing too?
Yeah, Tony sings too. He only
She
sings.
said, Tony, you sing too?
Yeah, he's. I'm,
Just kidding.
I think he only sings at church though. No, I'm just kidding.
But thank you, Seek. I really
No,
appreciate it.
but no,
Yes.
yes, put me on that.
Yes. Thank
I'm just
you.
for it, and whatever I can do.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But we'll be at Maddox Park on the 13th at 1, so feel free to join us.
At 1 o'clock,
Yes.
13th.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Hmm.
I'll be there. I'll be
Yes.
there.
Oh my God.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my God.
Oh,
Ah,
it's good.
I
Okay,
will
so here's
be there.
here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's the thing here.
Mhm.
I feel so bad because I am a native of El Dorado. And when you said that, I'm talking about tears started coming this side because you was like, and I love El Dorado. And I just felt convicted. So let me just say that I'm going to have to think of a different perspective of El Dorado.
That is
Exactly. Thank you.
absolutely true.
Thank you, Miss Ford. She
Yeah.
Yes.
you that you sparked some light on Miss Sharon so she can, yes, show some love back home. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
It's a
Amen.
great city. Absolutely.
Wow.
It's just
So
about knowing the people. That's all it is.
yeah,
Mhm.
it is. So
Yeah.
Miss Ford, I want to ask the question. You give me your perspective on it.
Okay.
On how do you feel that we can, or how do you can you define peacefully dissolving violence in a community?
Can I define
Mm,
dissolving violence?
Yeah, yeah,
You know what?
dissolving.
That
Yeah,
is a great dream to dissolve violence. But if you read your word, it's
yeah,
gonna get worse. So what can we do so it doesn't impact so much on the people? I
right.
would say get in your prayer closet and ask the Lord for wisdom. Join us and
Yeah,
let's come together and show people that a diversity of people can make a difference.
right.
When the kids start seeing unity among people, then maybe that hate that they have to certain races will go away.
Right.
But if all they see is negativity and they hear the white man, or maybe the Spanish people taking our jobs, whatever, anything negative, it causes disunity.
Yeah,
But if it doesn't change, then there's always going to be that violence. That's why I said it's a great dream, but it needs, unfortunately, it's not unfortunately, but it starts at home. So
yeah,
parents, please
absolutely.
stop
Absolutely.
saying, the white man or the white or that white people or the Spanish people or color. So forget about the color.
Pointing fingers.
And you might
Yes.
be like, oh, you're saying that because you've been through what I've been through. We've all gone through something, and we all bleed red. And
Absolutely.
regardless of what happens, you know, we should just learn to accept each other. You don't have to
Absolutely.
like me, but at least love me. you know, let's
Absolutely. There
let's
you
let's
go.
love each other. Um, I could be angry with people because of where my son was at. You know, He is half and half. He's half black, half white, half Spanish. I mean, he's half black, half Spanish. I could be angry on either side, or if the black people wouldn't have approached my son, or if the Spanish people wouldn't have, I could be angry either way.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of doing that, I chose to pray for those people. Let me tell you a little story. My son actually, one of his friends put a hit out on him,
Mm.
and three times he reached out to his friends and said, "Hey, get David over here, and I'll take care of the rest. I'll pay you $5,000. I'll pay you $10,000." These people never turned on David. One day, when he told me that, I started praying for my son. One day, my son saw him in the car with his friends. He was coming out of the store. He said his friends saw him, but he didn't. And they just locked eyes. And I know that it was my prayers that stopped it, because I said, Lord, if they ever come in contact with each other, blind them. Let them not see them. Let them not even see what, I don't care how close they are. And that's what happened. And so I could have hatred towards that. I could have a hatred towards his dad, because I know his dad. But instead of me having hatred towards his dad, I show love towards his dad, because love conquers all. What did Martin Luther King say? You
Yeah.
know,
Absolutely.
it's about loving your enemy. So I'm not coming with something new. I'm coming with something old.
Right.
That a great man that a lot of people look up to felt the same way.
Right.
We don't need to
Absolutely.
do more violence. We need to go ahead and change our attitude and actually pray for God to soften our hearts so we can love those that hate us.
Right.
So I don't know if that answers your question, but that's just
Yes,
what
it does.
to me.
And Miss Ford, we have a request from a viewer.
For,
The-
for Sharon to sing. Sharon can
For
sing.
me not to sing. It says, it
I didn't see that part.
Let's sing that.
I saw, please ask Afric to sing. That's what I read.
There you go,
Oh,
Connie.
it says, please don't ask her to sing.
oh goodness.
let me ask another question too. So
Sure.
I'm trying to phrase it correctly.
Okay.
So in your walk of with this program that you work with, have you seen? I know you've seen like a difference in the race of people that support.
Hmm.
I've seen in a lot of places where there are events that are put on by like the minority, but the Caucasian people are the biggest supporters.
Hmm.
And I'm just trying to understand that. And like I can't wrap my head around that. Why
Absolutely.
we
Why the Caucasians are the biggest supporters?
yeah, we we
What we're
we
saying.
the events are for us that we put
Hmm.
on, but
Yeah.
we have the bigger support from the Caucasian people
Hmm.
in
Exactly.
some events that I see. I'm not saying all of them
Okay.
because I hadn't been to
Uh-huh.
all of them,
Yeah.
but the ones that I've seen that where whites are really supportive, but then I see like some of the other races, trying to, down that race, but they support. I'm not saying that some of the issues that they have are not true and valid,
Mhm.
but I'm just saying they
Yeah.
kind of show up. They kind of show
Yeah.
up in numbers when it
Hmm.
really matters in some efforts. So I don't know if it's this a thing of
Mm.
sympathy or
It,
I don't know how to
So
intelligent.
when I ever since I started, I would tell you that the African Americans are the ones that supported the most.
Okay.
They're always there. Okay, like I said, it's just this year where my church started to support
Hmm.
more. They always supported me. They're like, "Oh, we're here for you, Anna. We're here for you." But to actually make themselves known is this
Hmm.
year. So the Caucasian, I guess, since you want to use the right term, uh, you know, I'm used to saying black and white. So
Yeah.
if I offended anybody, my
Oh no.
apologies. But
don't worry about it. No.
but yeah, so the main support that I've had is actually from the black community,
Yeah.
and it amazes me because I always tell people, I'm like, I'm a Spanish girl, you know, and
Yeah.
for them to embrace it and what is it, accept me,
Right.
accept me as a leader, I guess, of this organization, accept me and ask me questions and say, what can we do next? I'm like, oh wow, we're not even the same race, but
Right.
you accept me, so that just speaks volume of the hunger
Right.
that people have for this. If they didn't have a hunger for that, if they didn't know that it was needed, I think I wouldn't have the support. But because it's needed, I would say the majority is the Black community that
Right.
support. And they're always thankful. Wherever we go, it's like, actually,
Hmm.
they say, can you do it more often? And
Right.
I'm like,
Right.
I would love to do it every month, but it's a lot of work. So we do it every 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't
Okay.
know if that answers
Great
your question.
work.
It does. It
Okay.
does. Yeah. I just kind of noticed that
Mm-hmm.
some areas I do notice that.
Mm-hmm.
So it leads me to believe sometimes that I don't know if it's done out of the fact because it is charity. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
people have to have things to
Yeah.
donate money to write
Yeah.
all things. So
Mm-hmm.
so then you question, is it genuine? But
Well,
it
let me
just,
be honest with you.
yeah.
When when my church started to get involved, I went to the pastor that's over the missions field. That's
Hmm.
the one that does the missions trip, the one that I just went with. And I told him, I said, it's great that you guys have, because sometimes they have like hot dogs, they give away hot dogs to certain communities and stuff. And I said,
Right.
that's great that you're doing that. I said, but you need to start getting more involved like with me, with anything that goes on in the community, because if you're just going to these little places just giving away hot dogs, all the Black community is looking at it is like, oh, white people. They're just being
Yeah.
nice again. They're
Yeah.
just doing it, to get a little star. We went to this neighborhood and we give away hot dogs. I
Yeah.
said, but if you start showing your face and actually talking more and being a part, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, they're for real. They're not just
Yeah.
doing this little thing just to do a check mark. They do want to know us. They do want to build a relationship with us. They
Yeah.
do want to be a part of our lives. And that's when they started to get more involved. So
Right.
yes, I did have to call them out on it, I guess, and say, hey,
Bottom along. Yeah.
if you want to go ahead and
Right.
make a difference, be there.
Yeah.
Don't just say, "Oh, we pray for you guys." Come out and actually be there. And that's when they
Hmm.
got
And so that's
more.
beautiful that you called the church out, because I have seen a lot of events that the African Americans has done, and they have literally begged majority of the surrounding churches. And I was at one event that not one church,
Mm,
African American church, show up. And this was supposed to have been a big thing so that we
yeah.
all can do it. And so I think that when he asked you that question about what could, like dissolve some things, if we can remember where
Hmm.
we all
Yeah.
came from and started. The
Hmm.
church was our resources before we started getting any resources from any government. We didn't
Hmm.
rely on anyone but each other. And so we
Yeah.
don't rely on each other anymore because we either envy or jealous or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be, whatever the case may be. But the children, and that's the ones that I think about the most. The children run to most games, and I found that out with my own son. They run to the games because they
Hmm.
looking and searching for love.
Hmm.
They
Yeah.
searching for that love, and so these people give them this hope and this love. But you got to do this and you got to do that.
Hmm.
At the least, at the end of the day, they're getting that attention because the adults are so dealing with life journeys that
Hmm.
children wasn't asked. And I know we don't want to hit on that, but they weren't asked to be born. They was either d- purposely born, or they was accidentally born,
Hmm.
or whatever the case may be. But they never was asked
Yeah.
to be born. So
Hmm.
it is at home and within the churches of the homes that we take and pay our tithes and offering. And, we don't, there's many churches that don't even do events anymore for the youth, but we don't
Yeah.
have anything else for them. And they want to know, how can we dissolve things?
Yeah.
Let's do things for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's do things. And so the white church, at least the white church did hear you. You was able to voice your opinion and they showed up. There was
Yeah.
a whole convention of people. I do know that Councilman Willie McGee worked on it. The Mayor Sunshine, they all was working on it. And the ball was dropped and not one church showed up.
Mm. Yeah.
So do
Yeah.
Yeah,
y'all
we
think
got.
that it's fear? Do y'all
Hmm.
think it's fear? Like everybody's scared that we just might not make it back home if I go out here and do it?
No, I don't think so. From what I've heard, I'm not going to say what I've seen, but what I've heard is competition. You know, like,
Ah,
yeah, like,
Well,
okay, well, we want to do this. You know,
ah,
why are they doing it? We wanted to do it. We want to,
ah.
that. I'm not saying. which church, because I don't know which churches are, but that's what I
No,
know.
but we can't unite, is what you're saying. We can't
Yeah,
unite.
yeah. Instead of like, well, I don't care what's going on. Let's unite and reach these kids and
Yeah.
do something for them. You know. So
Nah.
again, it goes back to prayer and fasting. You know, Jesus said some demons can't be cast out unless you pray and fast.
Right.
So if we can all get together, pray and fast and say and believe the Lord, God is going to move in those hearts. And now if that people now this the way I see it. If I tell my pastor, hey pastor, this and this and this and this, and I feel that the Lord is saying this is what you need to tell him. Now the pastor chooses not to do it. That's between him and God. So I'm not going to be
Absolutely.
like, well, you know, you need to do it, or well, he's not a man of God. No, it's like, hey, that's between you and the Lord. You know, I told you what
Abs-
God told me to tell you. You chose not to do it. I'll pray for you, but you know, God's going to deal with you eventually. And if, unfortunately, that's what's going to happen with the churches that choose not to, you know, do what they know God has called them to do, which is to reach the people. And
Right.
if they choose not to do that, then they're going to have to answer to God. It's not us. They're not answering to us. That's why I
Yeah.
said
Yeah.
Ephesians 12, 12:6. You know, we're not fighting against flesh and blood. We're not fighting against the pastors or the churches.
No,
We're fighting against the enemy. So if we
exactly.
can learn to take our eyes off that and say, okay, God, you know, and then start working, God is going to work on them. And if they don't, they're going to suffocate because they're going to be like, man, we need to do something. So,
Yeah.
and yes, Connie, prayer
Absolutely.
changes things. Yes, it does.
Absolutely. Thank you, Connie. And I want to piggyback Connie there. I've learned and it helped me out a lot in my past life when I kept that on my brain and on my tongue. Not only that prayer changes things, but prayer changes us,
Mm-hmm.
and we
Yes.
change things.
Yes.
Also, we need to keep that in mind,
Mm-hmm.
and so that therefore I think we need to start praying more,
Yes.
uh, outside of the church, outside of the house, in the house, no doubt. But let's
Mm-hmm.
get out and pray. But I was in the square not long ago. I just happened up there, and I don't think it was one of our podcast nights, but I happened up there, and they were having prayer. I didn't know it,
Mm-hmm.
and it was mostly. It was a Caucasian church or whatever, but I seen some blacks up. But it was just I sat down. I sat down
Yeah.
and I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
enjoyed the prayer on the square.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
let's do that more. I say,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
whatever we need to do. We need to march
Mm-hmm.
to. We need to go
Yeah.
to wherever, and we need to pray,
Mm-hmm.
pray,
Yeah.
pray, pray.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard
Um,
about it, but that's what we do when we march. We pray as we're marching. We're praying. We're singing
Absolutely,
songs, and we're lifting up the name of Jesus. And that's what we're doing because we're
and
absolutely.
there
covering.
are
Here's
prayer.
what we're
There's prayer Monday
covering.
through Friday.
We're
I'm
covering
sorry, there is
incarcerated.
prayer from Monday through
Right.
Friday. That's what I was telling you, Zeke. Monday through
Okay,
Friday, Veronica named every school that they have prayer at 6:45, almost 7. I don't know if y'all want to get up that early, but I do want to acknowledge that they are having prayers because for me, I don't like for us to reiterate something that's already going on. Let's join on to what's already going on. So I do know that
absolutely,
they do it Monday through Friday at 6:45 every morning. Every morning.
Mm-hmm.
exactly. And I see this coming. I see Leisha Ramey Murphy. She's saying I have to pray everywhere, especially driving.
Yeah.
Okay, Leisha, I'm with you.
Yes.
I'm with you, Miss Murray.
Mm-hmm.
Same here.
Right.
Anthony, can you see any more comments? I see them coming, but I can't keep up with them.
Hold on one second. Kind of just say amen to Zeke when he was speaking. Then Lisa just said that she had to pray everywhere, especially driving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I saw something when Miss Oswella said something because she called yeah, there it is. Like you said, Miss uh Brown. No, Miss Oswella. Her name is Miss Ford. She said brown and no color is no issue. We all have the same blood color and we all bleed red. Yes, Miss Oswella, we sure do. We don't.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. A quick
Yes.
question here. I just want to zing in right quick. Didn't mean to get off, but uh, Miss Ford, the gun things. What are your thoughts on the guns? Are we doing what we can about getting the guns off the street, or just being gun privy on doing whatever we need to do, getting guns out of the hands of people that are not supposed to have guns in their hands anyway?
I mean, I know the government is trying, I guess, to get the guns out. And I know they're always. I mean, you see it on the news. We just found this whole bunch of guns. We just, we seized them. What is it? We arrested these people who had a whole bunch of guns. I mean, they're always finding guns, and guns just keep magically reappearing. It's like you take
Magically,
some
yeah.
out, and then they bring some in. You take some out, and they bring some in. So it's just basically, Miss Leisha said we do pray every night at 9. So just praying basically. How can we get guns off the streets? That is a good question.
Where they
I
coming from? Who got money like that?
Oh, you're fine, Miss Connie. Uh, Gangs from everywhere. It's not just the
Everywhere.
gangs here in El Dorado. They can get it from Texas. They can get it from Florida. California. Anywhere. Baton Rouge.
Everywhere.
I mean, yeah, they take some out of the streets, but they bring them right back in. I'm not saying to give up and be like, well, we're just gonna have to deal with it. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this, like I said, it is a
Why we
good
can't
question.
say that?
How can we get rid of guns, illegal guns,
Right,
for people that are
right,
using them for violence illegally? Stand together, stand together. And like I was trying to say before, that's the when we march. The way I see it is, we are covering all of El Dorado in prayer. Veronica Creer started her stuff for the schools after I started for the city, and I told her, I said, thank you for going to the schools and praying, because you're doing something that we can't do every day. So she's taking care of that part, and we're taking care of
right,
everything else. So
right.
basically, all of El Dorado is being covered, where the enemy gets angry. So guess what happens? More guns come in, more drugs come in because the devil is fighting us. But eventually, there's going to be a revival. And that's what God has shown me. Eventually, there's going to be a revival where every church is just going to be on fire. And every church is just going to repent and surrender and just say, Lord, we're sorry for not doing what you've called us to do. And
Hmm.
Yes.
that's where it will eventually is going to have to happen. There's no way that you can keep
Absolutely.
praying and nothing happens. There's no way that I refuse to believe that. When you pray, something happens.
It happens.
Something is happening in the background. We don't see it. We don't know what it is, but something is happening. It's
Yes.
just waiting on the Lord to see when it's going to explode.
Mm.
Absolutely.
So,
Leisha, thank you. And she kind of piggybacked what I was saying. The guns are just way too easy. It seems like they're way too easy to get. Thank you, Leisha.
mhm,
And it's true.
yeah, it is.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I really, really, really never talked about it, but I know we only got a few minutes left, but I don't know if I like guns or if I don't even like guns. I don't even know what the purpose of, but what I do know, if I ever get an opportunity to sit on that stand, I will say that I'm not for sure if I stopped my son that Friday morning from getting a gun
Hmm.
at the pawn shop. I thought that, because of his separation with his wife,
Hmm.
and his child had got his hair cut, and I thought that it was going to be a bad thing. So I went to the pawn shop and asked them not to sell that gun to my son, and I regret it every day because he had no defense for himself at all. you
Hmm.
know so um I fight with that every day, wondering just what if, just you know what if.
Sharon, you
And
did what you were supposed to do. You did the right thing by telling him not to, because you never know what could have happened. Maybe
Yeah.
he would have killed somebody. Maybe a shootout, both killing each other. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know what could have happened if he would have had that gun, but you did what you were supposed to do. And I told the same thing to Mr. Mack, the boy's father. He put on Facebook when he got gunned down, son, if I knew that the reason why you needed that gun was because somebody was after you, I would have had you here. I would have kicked you out of the house. And I told him, I said, you did what you were supposed to do. You had a wife, pregnant, 3 kids, and your son is over here with the gun, and they could have shot him out at your house.
Right.
So you did what you were supposed to do, just like he did what he was supposed to do. That's just the devil telling you, oh, if only, don't even listen to that voice. You did as a mom, you did what you were supposed to do because it could have been worse.
it's
Yeah.
true. It's true.
I
So,
literally try not to really think about me because the queen, the one that we have on the comments,
mhm.
I can't imagine her being on the phone in the car
Yeah.
having to hear her son being robbed, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
she's trying to get to him real
Yeah.
fast, and she go in and she get a chance to, pop one, but she still had to she still had to hold her son and let
Yeah.
him die in her arms. And her mental sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
um, she's a person that has got minister license,
Yeah.
and she works with me a lot because my faith is not so great, but I try every day
Yeah.
because I've been a servant of God. I was dancing. I was with God, and I feel like God just, you know, I
I know.
felt a certain way.
Yeah.
And she has really been ministering to me, even in the depths of her sorrow. So, that support group is something you really, really need. But it's not always pretty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You're not alone. And we understand.
Yeah.
I want to read this, a couple of these comments right quick. I want to go back to Alicia. Alicia
See,
says,
You're welcome,
Alicia
Alicia.
said, I believe that it's the mindsets that we have to work on with the youth. It's true, Alicia. The guns will definitely gonna be still a problem, and it's true. And she
yeah,
says,
that's
thank you,
true.
Miss Ford.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so
Miss
much.
Ford, we're gonna have to have you on the show again because see, Anthony, what you think about Zeke tonight?
I think he need to show up late every night.
Yeah. Right. Oh.
Mm-mm. But
Okay.
it's just a great thing that you're doing, Miss Ford. I just want, and
Thank
I
you.
speak for myself and the rest of my clan that we appreciate your great works because you're not, like you said, you're not from here, and you didn't have to do it. You didn't have to listen to God.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you and thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you
That
for
has
Yes.
having
really inspired me. Zeke, I'm gonna piggyback on that one because see, I know probably Veronica gonna see this podcast, so and I'm gonna be like, God, Lee, I can't believe, she done outdid me. I'm always running from El Dorado.
me.
Baby, Zeke is on fire, ain't it? Oswella,
Yes, it is.
Oswella. Zeke is on fire.
Oh my God,
But I
I
really am
love
gonna
it.
have to think of my perspective of El Dorado. I really that, that's what these tears are. I think I want to, cry tears of welcoming home, like for real, fight
Well,
being
I'm
here.
glad it encouraged you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Glad there was
appreciate your
a
time.
breakthrough.
Mm-hmm.
Breakthrough. Good job, man.
Yep. You had a breakthrough right here.
Right here, right there,
It can
Yep.
happen anywhere.
Yep.
anywhere.
On
Anywhere.
Jazz
Yeah,
Chronicle. Look at
Jazz
that.
Chronicle. Anywhere God is in the midst, it can happen.
Yes.
that's
Yep.
it.
So
Definitely.
know that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think our issue we won't solve overnight.
No.
We're not going to solve it overnight. So,
Mm-hmm.
Miss Ford, we want to thank you for joining us tonight. It has been such a pleasure. It has been very insightful. Do you
Thank
have
you.
anything you want to plug again to remind the people that what's going on?
Yes. Just remember December 13th at 1 p.m. at Maddox Park. We will have the toy drive. We will have Santa and his wife. You'll be taking Santa pictures, and we will have food, so people will be fed. We're gonna have some Christian rappers to minister to you. We're going to also have face painting. So if your child loves face painting, there's going to be a lady that does great work at face painting. Yeah. So hope to see you all there, December
Good.
I
13th at 1
definitely
p.m.
will be there. I will be getting in touch with you, seeing if you need anything from Jazz Chronicle and myself.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you
Indeed.
for inviting me, Sharon. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you
Yeah,
for
thank you,
accepting.
Sharon.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Yeah,
Zeke,
thank you,
you have
Sharon.
anything you want to say in closing?
I
Uh-uh.
just like you said, just appreciate you again, Miss Ford.
Yes.
Appreciate you, Sharon, for having this young lady. I think I've met her before,
Mm-hmm.
in passings or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
hey, big thumb up to Sharon for the
Yes.
invite on that one. No
Mm-hmm.
doubt, no doubt, much needed. And Miss Ford, we'll be
Yes.
seeing you soon.
Great.
Yes.
Yes. Looking forward
Yes,
to
we
it.
will.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we
Sharon.
will. No, because I think I'm just gonna cry to tears. I love everybody. I'm too full.
Okay.
Well, I'll close it while you melt.
Okay.
So, so as we close today's conversation, let this moment be a reminder that change doesn't begin in courtrooms or classrooms. It begins in living rooms, in kitchen tables, in the hearts of parents who refuse to surrender their children to the streets. We are not just reacting to youth violence, we are rewriting the environment that we feed it. We are parents, mentors, protectors, but most of all, we are a united force. And when parents unite, cycles break, futures shift, communities heal. Tonight, let every one of us leave with a renewed commitment to speak life into our young people, stand in the gaps where the world has failed them, and to build bridges where were once only broken pieces. Our children are not problems to be solved, they are promises waiting to be fulfilled. So let's move with purpose, lead with compassion, continue to raise our voices louder than the violence ever could. Because together we are not just hoping for change, we are change. Thank you for listening. Thank you for showing up. And thank you for standing united. The work continues, and so do we. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Peace.